Well, hello friends, Coach Bob with you, and welcome to another Worship on Wheels. What a wonderful, crazy, whacked out world it is that we live in. And we're going to talk a little bit about something we all have in common. Doesn't matter what color you are, how rich you are, what you have, what you don't have. It doesn't matter. If you're a believer or an unbeliever, we all have something in common. We're all going to die. Now with that encouragement, let's talk about that right after this. All right, well, welcome back. In Hebrews chapter 9, verse 27, it says, "For each man is appointed to die." We are to die once, and then the judgment. Now, you may not believe in the judgment, but I guarantee you this. You certainly believe in dying, because it's happening, baby. You know, in the book of Job, after losing everything, and he's standing over a casket of a loved one, he makes a statement, and I don't have the verse sitting right here in front of me, so I'm just going to go with what I recall. And he says, "Naked I came from my mother's womb, naked I shall return." And he closes that little section out with, "Blessed be the name of the Lord." Yes. So let's talk about the dying thing, though. You know, we came into this world butt naked, and when we leave, let's stop for this tree limb here. That's why you're always scanning. Come on, thank you. All right, let this guy go, and then we'll roll right around it. Look at that. Anyway, so how is that good news? Knowing that we're going to die, and you know, there is a prophet that also talked about that. You may have heard of him before. It was the prophet Axl Rose. "You in the jungle, baby. You're gonna die." And he also says it's going to bring you to your knees. It's going to. It's going to, one way or the other. It definitely is. But how is that encouraging to any of us, knowing that we are mere mortals, that we are not going to live forever in this fleshly body, that we are going to die in a world that's stressful and crazy and can be scary? How can the thought of that encourage any of us? Well, one thing it should do is it should level off the playing field just a little bit for you. You know, we all die at different times, and I understand under different circumstances, and for those of you who know my background, and I won't go into great detail, you can look at old videos if you want to do that. I've lost those very close to me at very young ages, so they got less time on this planet than I did. Does that make them a loser and make me a winner? I'm going to tell you absolutely not. It does not make them a loser. In fact, on the contrary, might make me a loser. I don't know. But why should the idea that you die and that you are appointed to die, why should it even matter? Why is it even worth saying if we all know it? And there's a reason. The great Stoics of the world also said to remember that you're going to die and to understand that you are a mere mortal. So this is not just Christianity and biblical values. This is also great philosophers agree with the fact that you should live with the idea that you know you're not going to make it forever in this planet. But how can we use that to our advantage? And I believe there are many, many lessons to be learned, you know, where Jesus says, don't worry about the things of tomorrow or yesterday. Today has enough evil of its own. And I think that if you put all of that together into this big bowl of knowledge, then what you realize is that your time here is limited. So the next time you're in that traffic jam and the guy wants to cut you off, you could chill and wave him in. I guarantee you're going to waste a lot less time doing that than you are pitching a fit and screaming and hollering and showing your rear end. The next time your spouse makes you angry, as opposed to carrying it around all day and throwing that day away, you can go to that person and say, hey, what you said hurt my feelings and it upset me, but I want you to know that I love you and I'm not willing to waste one moment of this life on the trivial things that it has to throw in my path. The next time you have a flat tire or you have some sort of thing that's going on in your life that is irritating, even if it's a major, but mainly we look at the minor irritations, that we can look at those things and go, I am not going to throw one moment away. But what if we're given catastrophic news? What if we're given that news, that life-ending news, the news that you have a horrible disease and things are not going to go well for you? Or what if you're at the end of your life, just due to years, and you start thinking, you know, my time here is limited, is it worth it anymore? And you wake up with this sense of dread daily. I would say that the reminder of the fact that that time is drawing more near to us should be a reminder of to savor every moment, to make it as sweet as we possibly can, to enjoy everything that is placed in our path, not to just endure it, but to savor it and enjoy it. You know, while this concept may sound very, very simple, and it is a simple concept, it is far from easy, and it takes great spiritual, physical, and emotional discipline to place these things into practice. Anyone who's ever broken a bone, I'm going to use that because a broken bone, like a lot of things after surgical procedures, it takes time, and that day-in worry and anger over the pain and the fear and the upsetness that we have that sinks down to our very existence. It takes a very strong person to appreciate everything. And I'm not going to say that I'm there. I just know where I should be. And where I should be and where I am are sometimes thousands of miles apart. But now that we have a goal to recognize that we are mortal and that we're not promised tomorrow, we can live every day as if it were our last, as if it were a gift. That's why it's called the present. I know you've heard that before, but it still doesn't make it any less true. The present is the gift. All right. Well, there you have it. Another Worship on Wheels in the books. So remember this, you, yes you are loved, and so am I, and that is great news. Now do me a favor, you go out and change the world, because anything less is just unacceptable. We'll see you on the road real soon.